Hello, everyone. Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Thank you for tuning in to my vlog, Zone 864. And I'm gonna just get right into it. What's up, Bria? I'm gonna just get right into it. So I was running errands today, and just going about my business like everybody else doing. And my last stop was at a QT gas station right now, just to put a few dollars in the tank. And there, I noticed when I was driving into the parking lot that, there was this young black kid, young black kid in the parking lot, young man, I should say. Where you going? All right, bye, Wayla. So, anyway, I didn't really pay any attention to it. I was driving to the pump, and he was walking from there's a Sonic that's behind the QT, so he's walking from Sonic to get some water inside the QT because it is, I know it's 100 degrees for sure. It could be well over 100 already, but it's already hot as hell here in Phoenix. Like it was hot as hell like at the end of April. But anyway, so I really didn't pay any attention to him. I went in there. I usually like to prepay before I pump gas because I don't like the gas. I don't like gas stations holding money on my car. They be holding like $50 and $60 sometimes. So anyway, so I go in there, and not thinking nothing of him, young black man, and where I live at, the city that I live in here in Phoenix, there's not really that many black people. Like we're like spectacles here in the city that I live in. Now, if you roll over to South Phoenix, that's a whole different ball game. That's a whole different story. You're going to see a whole bunch of us brown-skinned motherfuckers there in South Phoenix. But Southeast, no. You might see, like I said, it's like a rare sight. We're like the white rhino, which is extinct now, I think. But anyway, so, I'm pumping gas, and normally when people ask for money, they normally, walk behind you. Why they do that, I don't know. But this dude walked around the pump and walked in front of me where I could actually see him. And then he said something like real low. I couldn't hear him, and he was like, "Huh?" I was like, he sounded like Shaq. He was like, so I was like, "What's up, man? What's good?" And so, he was like, "Man," he was like, "I ain't gonna go through everything, but my parents kicked me out. My parents kicked me out the house." I said, "What, for real?" He said, "Yeah, my parents kicked me out the house." I said, "How old are you?" He said, 15. I said, "Do you live in Chandler?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "How long have you lived here?" He said, "Since December." I said, "Is it mom that put you out, or is it mom and dad at home?" He was like, "Well, it's my mama. He was like, my mom's at home, but it's my stepdad." I said, "What?" I said, "What's the problem, man? What's the problem?" And he said, "Man, they blame everything on me." He was like, "They blame literally everything on me." He was like, "My stepdad," he said somebody just hit my stepdad's truck. I don't know if it was like an F-150 or whatever it was, but he said somebody hit my stepdad's truck and put a dent in it, and they blamed that on me. And he was like, "I'm only 15. I don't even drive. So how you gonna blame something that did not involve me? How you gonna blame something on me that I can't even do? He can't even drive, and they blame the accident on him." Like he said, they blame every single thing on him. So, I'm on a time restriction because I got to get back to the house. because I have things to do and I'm on a schedule and whatnot. So and I work in health insurance, so I'm familiar, unfortunately, with. I used to talk to caseworkers and just work with people that had a whole bunch of stuff going on in their lives and whatnot at my previous job. Um, so I, we just got to talking a little bit, and I said, why don't you go back home? I said, why don't you just tell them? And he said, I already tried. They won't let me in. And I'm like, damn. So I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, me, I make these vlogs, on a weekly basis to try and bring awareness about and to try to educate and to try to teach somebody that something that I learned or that they don't know that might help their life. Especially I started these vlogs intended especially specifically for black people within the black community, because what I find is that there's a lack of sharing of information. But you go somewhere like a Islamic community or a Jewish community, and they share information. They talk to each other. They really do network. But not getting sidetracked and just getting back to the story. He was like, yeah, I tried. I went home. They wouldn't let me in. And so I stood there for like a minute thinking, I give out all this information. I need to practice what I preach, because initially when he walked over there to me, I'm like, oh man, what do you want, man? What he want, man? I'm trying to go. That's what I was thinking in my head. But then the other side of my brain took a hold of me, and I'm just like, I'm looking at him like, what if that was me? Like, what if I was out here? What if my parents kicked me out in 100-degree plus heat? Where am I gonna go? How am I gonna eat? Where am I gonna get water at? Like, where I'm gonna rest my head at? And I thought about it, because I kind of had some situations when I was younger where I ran away from home willingly. I wasn't put out. I literally ran away and stayed with a chick at an undisclosed location. I almost didn't finish high school. Thank God I finished though. But anyway, so I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, man, this could be me, or if this could be one of my cousins or something like that. So I thought to myself, and the best that I could do for him at that point, I gave him $10, and I said, man, look, go to the bus stop across the street and take yourself to the police station, because they're gonna have to find somewhere for you to go. So I told him, I went in there. I withdrew the $10. I was gonna give him $5. No, I said, I'm gonna give you $5, and you're gonna have to use that to get yourself a bus pass. But I gave him 10. I gave him $10. So I went in there. I withdrew $10 out of my account. I gave him $10, and I sent him on his way. And I told him to go downtown Chandler, go to the police station, and tell them that your parents put you out. And and then the other side of me was like, how do I know? I don't like, did his parents really put him out, or did he run away? But as I was talking to him, I got the sense that I'm like, nah, cause he ain't got no family here. All of his family live in Michigan. It's just him and his mom and his stepdad here. He don't got no friends really. And the friends that he do have, more than likely are white, because once again, of the city that I live in, it's not too many black people. Like, the list of black people in this neighborhood that I'm in is me and my dad. And my dad is the next door neighbor. I'm just playing. It's some of us that live here, but you get what I'm saying. But that situation was just sad, man, because it's like 100 degrees out here. This young man ain't got no money. They said he took himself. He said that his parents took his phone, so he don't got no phone. He don't got no kind of communication. I called, I called a homeless shelter, when I was with them at the gas station. Unfortunately, they didn't answer. And it's crazy because with me, when I normally go get gas, I normally go at night. One, primarily because the gas station around the corner is like packed. And I hate, you literally have to wait in line to get gas. So I just wait till it's like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night, roll through, get some gas. So I never go in the daytime. But I believe that God sent that young man to me because I did more for him. I think just me giving him $10 and giving him directions on where to get a start on turning his life around, I think that's more than anybody would have did for him. I gave him $10. He didn't even know about the bus. He would probably would have never thought about taking the bus. So I gave him a sense of direction on how he can turn his life around. And I really hope that they're able to take care of him at the police station and get him hooked up. I really hope that his story is true. I really hope that he actually gets there. So, it's just a sad situation because this young man is only 15 years old. And, like I said, especially like I always say, especially within the black community, we always have to look out for each other. And that was just my small way of helping him. Like, even though what I did wasn't too much, it was more than anybody else would have did, I feel like. It was 20 other cars at the gas station. And he could have went to anyone, but God sent him to me. He sent the struggling young man over to another struggling man. And I was able to be a blessing in his life today. So I just wanted to share that story, because things happen for a reason. God sends people your way for a reason. God tests you, puts you in situations for a reason. And you might not never know what it's for. And you may never know why you may have been tested or why that situation happened. That's just life. But I'm going to wrap this up. And I'm going to be back on in a few minutes to tell y'all another story about what I saw this morning also. So I'll be right back. Peace out.